Hello and welcome to my review for F1. So this is a Formula One racing car movie starring Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, who is, if you don't know him by name, he is Franklin from Snowfall, and soon to be. If Damson, listen, I know this is a review about this movie, but I need to talk about Damson Idris because I love Snowfall so much, and he is a great actor. He's a great looking guy. If he is casted to play T'Challa's son in and if he becomes the new Black Panther, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip out, dude. I'll do 10 backflips if Damson Idris is the new Black Panther in the MCU. I don't know why that came over me, but anyway, back to this movie. So this is a Formula One racing car movie, which I am not super familiar in Formula One compared to like NASCAR. You know, during the movie I did look up the difference, and I think it's dependent on certain kinds of cars and the way that they're built, yada yada. But whatever. So basically, I'll do a spoiler-free version. If you like Top Gun Maverick, which I will explain why I think that this movie feels like Top Gun Maverick, just with cars instead of planes and not being in the military but being Formula One, you're probably gonna like this movie. I had a couple complaints about this movie when it comes to character decisions and like the character choices that they make, but other than that, this movie just feels like Top Gun. In a good way. Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick are both very good movies that are very entertaining and super fun to watch. They're very engaging and the characters are enjoyable, but what you're watching for is the cool vehicle stuff. That's what you're watching for. You know, I like Brad Pitt. I really like Damson Idris, and their characters, they serve the movie. They are well acted. They're well written. They're enjoyable characters, but you want to see them driving the car, right? If you watch this movie, you want to see them driving the car. That's what it is. And when they're driving the car, it's very good. So if you like Top Gun Maverick and you like cars, I think you're gonna like this movie. It's long. In my opinion, they could have cut out some things that I didn't really care about, but that's me personally. But yeah, 2.5 hours, a very well done movie. You get a lot of good car stuff. You know, you get kind of the science behind F1 if you're unfamiliar, which I was. So you know, you get how the cars are built to be aerodynamic, to take less air and air resistance, and super cool movie. So yeah, that's my spoiler section. I know it's super short and whatever, but I want to. You're probably gonna like this movie. I doubt that a lot of people who've seen this movie either in theaters or on Apple TV, which is what I saw it on currently streaming. I doubt that anybody was like, I hated this movie. I heavily doubt that. But like I said, I have a couple of complaints, but yeah. So we're gonna jump into my spoiler section. So spoilers. Semi-spoilers anyway. I don't need to see Brad Pitt have a love relationship part in this movie. That's what also felt like Top Gun. I want to see the planes fly in the cool military shit. I don't need to see Tom Cruise off of base hanging out with some chick who he likes. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care. That's just kind of what it boils down to for me. And same with this movie. There is a character. She is like the first ever, or the first female pit crew person, or maybe she's not the first ever female, but like she's like the first one that like designs the car and work. I don't know. They say in there somewhere that she's the first female to be in the position that she's in. Brad Pitt takes a liking to her. A lot of the other male characters that know Brad Pitt, like know his character, tell her not to get in with him because he like breaks up with girls and whatever. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. Drive the fucking car. I want to see you drive the car. I don't care about all that. But another thing that makes this movie feel like Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick is you have an older, well-seasoned, knowledgeable person jumping in with a person who is younger and is more of a prodigy and doesn't have the experience. And so a lot of times, or what I was expecting, and this is where my complaints come in, throughout this entire movie, Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, they are constantly butting heads, and it makes sense in the beginning, right? That Brad Pitt's character has a certain way of doing driving, and he has knowledge of how cars work and how racing is. And then Damson Idris's character, who I believe is Joshua Pierce. I'm not even gonna try to remember Brad Pitt's name, whatever. But Damson Idris's character is a little more cocky. He is good at it, but he doesn't have experience. He's very new. He's not refined yet. And they bump heads. And a lot of times with this setup of a movie, right, is the younger guy learns from the older guy, and the older guy learns to respect the younger guy and his talent, and they basically become together to be a really good team. And, you know, in the first act of the movie, or halfway through the movie, they still might be butting heads, but something will happen. And again, this is for these archetypes of movies, for what I've seen. These archetypes of movies, they'll bump heads in the beginning. The prodigy guy will think he knows best. The older guy will know best, and they'll bump heads and things will go wrong. Then it'll happen kind of again, but then they get into an argument and they understand where each other are coming from. And then in the next time, the younger guy listens to the older guy, but the older guy trusts the younger guy, and then the thing works. This movie, it does do that. But they race like 20 times throughout this movie, maybe not, maybe less, maybe more, but they race 20 times, and not until the last race of the movie do they actually work together. They literally bump heads the entire movie. And Brad Pitt, being the older, wiser character, he does dumb shit all the time. Okay, I'm gonna jump to, there's a point in the movie where Damson Idris is trying to win the race. Brad Pitt is far back, but he is trying to set it up, or do things in the back that'll help Damson Idris's character win the race. And he's like, all right, the straight shot is coming up. Tell Joshua to be patient, but he can attack and he can get past and whatever. And Damson Idris's character isn't patient. He tries to jump the gun too early, and then he hits which also okay, I'll get into it, but he's not patient, and he tries to rip it, and he ends up crashing. Now, I don't know if this is actually true or what, but I guess F1 suits, the suits that they wear, are like flame resistant or fire retardant, because he straight up crashes, flips over the fence, and then his car blows up, and he's good. He's fine. I mean, he's in the hospital for a couple weeks, but he's good. So I thought when that happened, first off, my jaw hit the ground, because I thought that Damson Idris was going to be around for the whole movie. And then on screen, we see him literally die, but he didn't. Spoiler, he didn't actually die. But Brad Pitt is the one who saves him. And so where I want to get to real quick is Brad Pitt told the guys on the headphones to tell Damson Idris's character to be patient, and they did not relay that to Damson Idris's character. But then they try to the movie kind of tries to blame Brad Pitt for Damson crashing. But then when you see the crash, the guy, Damson Idris, he's driving, and he hits a piece of debris that Brad Pitt earlier in the race caused. So it is his fault, kind of. But I don't know. This movie, I like the racing. I didn't know that in F1 there was combat where there's attacking and defending and you're trying to block. I've never watched F1, and maybe if I watched it long enough I'd be able to pick up on that, but the movie does a good job of explaining what they're exactly doing. You get on a straightaway and the person behind you is trying to pass you, so you have to defend. But then if you have your teammate on your other side, sorry, I hit my mic. If you have your teammate, they have to pick one to defend, and so one can bait it out. Like, there's a lot of cool, like, tactical stuff that goes on in this movie that I didn't know about F1, and that's very interesting to me. That's very fun. When they're driving, this movie is very good. It's very entertaining. But the second they stop driving, they're butting heads, they're being annoying, and even sometimes Brad Pitt, like, they're on a team, and earlier on, and again, like I said, this is earlier on in the movie where they're butting heads. So Brad Pitt's character, his pit crew or whatever, the coaches of F1, I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry, but they're like, all right, Brad, let him pass, and he won't do it. And he won't do it. And they, like, I think they hit tires and they spin out, whatever. And then after the race is over, Damson Idris goes to Brad Pitt and is like, don't ever do that shit again. Let me pass. And Brad Pitt, no bullshit, goes, if you want to pass me, then you better beat me. Saying, if you want me to let you go ahead of me, you need to beat me in a race. Or like, whatever. Basically being like, be better than me. If you want me to let you go, you have to earn it, is what Brad Pitt is saying, right? Cut to another race down the line. I believe this is when after Damson Idris got back from the hospital, I think. So he's like feeling real good, whatever, right? They're neck and neck, and Damson Idris like bumps or fucks up Brad Pitt in some way, and he ends up crashing or something. And after Damson Idris beat Brad Pitt. That's what I took away from it. He beat him in a race. Brad Pitt said, beat me if you want to be better than me. And he did. And then Brad Pitt was like, if you ever do something that's stupid ever again, I will leave this team. He gets so emotional when he literally, like 3 races ago, did the same thing to him. Now, all of a sudden, when it's happening to Brad Pitt, he's pissed off. But when Damson Idris was pissed off, oh, you're just a kid, you have no idea. It's like these two characters, at the end, the final race, they finally work together, and they're like a team, and it feels good. But this movie's 2 hours and 35 minutes. You gotta understand. So the last race is probably like, what, the last 20 minutes? So for 2 hours and 10 minutes, these guys are butting heads even though they're on the same team. And Brad Pitt doesn't listen to his coaches. Brad Pitt doesn't listen to anybody. And he has his own way. He's such a little cocky asshole. He's supposed to be the guy that's like wise beyond his years in racing, but he sucks. They fucking suck. Both of these guys kind of suck sometimes. Like, they actively lose a lot. I don't know why I'm getting so passionate about it. It's a good movie, and like those complaints, even though I have those complaints, it's very enjoyable. I like learning about it. It's like shot well. The camera of like being on the cars is super cool, and I like the movie, but sometimes I'm like, dude, these guys are bickering again. They're bickering and arguing, and then, oh, here goes Brad Pitt not listening to his team. Oh, here goes Brad Pitt destroying a $300,000 car just because he's not getting his way. Like, he was like, oh, our car's a piece of shit, we have to focus on attacking and defending, right? So they're like, okay, we'll do that. And they're like, how do we do that? And he starts destroying a car like a toddler, and it's really annoying. But other than that, I still liked it. I still like the movie. You know, I when they work together, which there's a couple of scenes before the end, the final race, where they do work together, but most of the time they're arguing. And I was like, what is the point? What is the point of having them constantly bicker and argue, you know? But I like this movie. And cut it again, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Cut out the love story, man. Keep it at the fucking cars. And like, the chick that Brad Pitt like falls in love with or whatever, she is a part of the pit crew, so she does the like zzz, 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 zzz on the tires with the drills or whatever, like the impact drills or whatever, like taking the tires on and off. So she's like a part of the story. Like, there's scenes where like they're going out and they're like hanging out at the hotel, and they're like, and then they're like sleeping together, and then it's like, dude, get me back to the fucking car. And I understand, like, if you've seen this movie, you'd be like, oh, well, Kai, the thing is she's the head technician of the car. So he's like, oh, we need to focus on attacking and defending while I'm driving. So she's like, because they're together or like they like each other, she's more willing to listen to what he has to say. Okay, I don't need to see them fucking. Not that there was a sex scene, but I'm saying I don't need to see them laying in bed together the morning after. I don't need to see them in the same hotel room. Okay, if they get a couple drinks, okay, but get back to the fucking cars, man. Even with how annoyed I was with them, Damson Idris's character and Brad Pitt constantly bickering or not listening to each other or not helping each other, I would rather that than the love scene that almost feels like it, or not the love scene, but like the whole relationship part. You could cut out like a good 20 to 25 minutes of this movie. Like, still, 2 hours and 10 minutes is long, but it's not 2:35, you know? But yeah, that's all I have to say. I like this movie. I enjoyed it. Let me, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. If Damson Idris becomes Black Panther, bro. Anyway. All right. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.